For more, I'd like to welcome in national security analyst and retired Marine intelligence officer Hal Kempfer. Hal, good afternoon. President Trump saying that we have won regardless. Yet I don't know that anyone thought the Strait of Hormuz was an issue until now.
Well, Nick, it was always an issue in terms of planners. We've always looked at that as the trump card, if you will, pardon the expression, but that the Iranians have always had is that they could surge things into the strait, which is a very narrow body of water, albeit critical for global commerce, and stop things from happening. Now, what the president referred to was sea mines being potentially dropped. Not a lot. Latest reports are it wasn't as much as we had feared it could be. And he did reiterate the fact that a lot of their surface combatants have been, most of their surface combatants have been taken out. Air Force has been taken out. Air defense, they're wide open. U.S. and Israel has air spirit over Iran. So I think he was kind of reiterating some things. But the big thing in the background, though, is that there appears to be a lane that's opening up to get ships in and out of the strait, regardless of what the Iranians are doing.
And Hal, do you believe that that will be enough, or will insurers still be edgy about sending their cargo through that area?
Maersk, Lloyd's of London, everybody is nervous. The risk on this is still very high. It's going to have to be demonstrated more. You know, we got 2 destroyers through that. We didn't get a lot of minesweepers through it. We want to get minesweepers through to, basically build that level of assurance that there aren't sea mines, embedded on the bottom of the sea or something that could possibly take out commercial ships. But once you see a lot of ships moving through there, I think you're going to see the demand curve basically force mariners to go through that area. And I also think you're going to see a lot more naval combatants out there to provide support, not just for threats on the water or under the water, but also from the air, whether it's drones or ballistic missiles.
And Hal, you and I can agree that if one ship is attacked or destroyed, that would be a serious setback.
It would be a serious setback. So far, no ships have been sunk. One was set on fire, one was hit by the Iranians, and it caused tremendous damage to the ship, but none have been sunk so far in this entire engagement. So that in and of itself is pretty big. But yes, having no ships hit would make a big difference and really boost the confidence of all commercial shippers.
Hal, according to President Trump and Secretary Rubio, the purpose of this attack on Iran was because Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they were on the cusp of developing a nuclear weapon. If this is indeed true, was this necessary, since we did have an agreement with Iran that President Trump tore up that was initially initiated under President Obama?
Well, the assessment was that Iran was not complying with the JCPOA in total. They were trying to find ways to circumvent it. We've seen that before. We certainly saw it with Iraq. We saw it with Syria. We saw it with Libya. And we, most pointedly, we saw it with North Korea. For years and years, we tried to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon. Now they have 30 to 50 nuclear weapons and a lot of ballistic missiles to put them on. We didn't want to see that replay in Iran. Now, I know we said last June we obliterated these 3 nuclear sites, but they still had a lot of enriched uranium at 60%, a small step to go to 90% where they're weapons grade capable. We still don't have control of that, obviously, but we wanted to stop them from making that step. And there was just a fear. And of course, a nuclear Iran, or Iran with nuclear weapons, that would be a very scary scenario.
Hal, I have less than 10 seconds. Are you optimistic about these peace talks?
I think something's going to come out of them. I don't know if it'll be fully successful, and I think we're completely ready to go back to kinetic means if necessary.
Hal Kempfer, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Nick.